Good early morning and welcome to the Detox Show. I was trying to get one in while I was, sober. And, it was like today trending was Bill Murray, and I got kind of like fearful or felt bad. I was like, oh, fuck, this guy's either died or he's been accused of sexual harassment. And then, sorry, I'm still battling a little bit of a cold. And then it was, what's his name? Azari? Is that how you pronounce it? It's Arzia, and then I think it's Arsner, something like that. Hey, even the guys in my generation are starting to get accused for this shit now. Was thinking about my set this week, and I always criticize it. Even though I haven't got the tape yet. Like, I vaguely remember what I said. I wasn't, like, shithouse hammered, but at the same time, being up there and having roughly a 12-pack in me allowed me to be so comfortable and smooth. And even I said at one point, this is a line I use when I forget my lines. I was like, when I can't remember what I want to say, it's probably because I'm thinking of porn. And did the Vanderbilt joke. That went over pretty good. About meeting Gloria and Cooper Anderson. Did the meeting a couple in the bar joke, and that went over pretty good. I made fun of myself for actually really not giving a fuck what I looked like up there, because usually before a show, I'll get a haircut, or make sure I have like brand new shoes on, and I didn't do either of that night. I don't know, that's really it. Like, I'm not mad at AA right now because I'm not going to it. I'm not going to say my thoughts will never go back to it. My personal belief is if you've been around for long enough, you're going to kind of try to do an inventory with yourself every day, no matter what. So that's where I'm at with that right now. That could change my mind again. I doubt it. Maybe I've always said this, and I've said this since I was a young kid. When I get old and have nothing to do, I doubt, I'm sure I'll go. But at this point, I just don't feel like it's helpful. Christ, the only time I go is when I'm pretty fucking drunk. And, I don't know, in sports, Tom Brady is still the GOAT. The guy continuously amazes me. If you're listening to this, I did post it. I got a couple pages and outlets now where I'm trying to promote myself. I will be at the Gotham Comedy Club again on June 22nd. I'm 99% sure it'll be at 9:30 at night. It's always a good time. There's always a lot of funny people. The great thing about the show I did on Wednesday night was all the comics, for the most part, it was a diversified show. And I know I've talked about this before, just not sober. But, when I go to a show, and even if all the comics are funny, and they're using the same material, it's to me, it's a boring show. I mean, that's just my perspective as a, new coming comic, a startup comic. So yeah, it was a really good show. I'm sure it will be again this 22nd. There was some lady there who she had credentials, like credits from Comedy Central. She was pretty good. She was an older black woman, but she was still pretty funny. And then all the comics for me, it was really cool. You went from a straight woman to a gay woman to a guy that was doing impersonations, a serious guy who was a little bit overweight but still really funny about making observations. So I don't know, I'm kind of just talking out loud because some days I have those days where I'm just stuck or too lazy to even care. Nothing's trending that I even really care about. I am going to start writing hard again this week because I do have a set already planned out for my next show. But at the same time, I was going to use that set this time. And like I was saying the other day, when the one comic got up before me, And it was pretty similar to what I was going to do, even though my stuff was a little harsher. I'm like, we got to change this. So I've got to make sure I do a little bit of writing this week, because I'm one of those guys, I don't like to say the same thing every time I'm up there. And, you know, I know Chris Rock's like that, even though I'm not a big Chris Rock fan. I know Richard Pryor was like that. I'm a fan of his style. I'm, you know, not necessarily, I don't find the shit funny because it's shit that I've done. The only thing I think he did worse than me was, well, he beat a lot of women. And, he fucking set himself on fire one night. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday morning. If whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay warm, because it seems to have gotten very cold again. Bye-bye.